teach the whole world music. To sing a simple melody. To sing about all the joys and good times, yeah. You see, that's the way God meant for it to be.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I cut the song short this morning.
Yes, you
That
did, but I
song
was
is
sign language in it.
the Polk Sisters and Company. Hello, Reedy.
I was sign language in
Sign language. All right. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. You're a lady of many talents.
I don't know how to sign language.
Well, you have your own sign. Hey,
Yes,
you
well,
have your own sign. So it's a wonderful day, and I'm so thankful to God for blessing us to be here today. He's a wonderful, wonderful God. He is awesome. He is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And for that, I am grateful. Dear God, as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. And we mean that with all our hearts. Amen. That any outstanding sins, we just want to be careful and we want to be sure that nothing
amen.
stands between us and God. And so today I am talking about, what am I talking about? Uh, I'm going to do the self-hatred test. I'm going to present that, and then I'm going to talk about survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt, because some
Yeah.
of us might be going through that and we just don't know what the feeling is. So we're going to go through that, and so here I go. I'm going to go to the test, the self-hatred test. Okay, and I was in this psychologia, that site .com, psychologia.com. And here's the self-hatred test. You're here, and it gives you a test, and I'm just going to go through it quickly because I talked about this. And when people hate themselves, that means that I don't believe it's possible to love anyone else if you don't love yourself.
Yes.
You might
Hello.
go through the motions, but really, if you don't love yourself, it's
Who
how.
can you love?
Right. And so that's why so many people do some of these horrific, terrible things. They don't know how to deal with life and all of that. So, do you hate yourself? Self-hatred or self-loathing is an extreme dislike of oneself. It may be linked to guilt, poor body image, depression, personal disorders such as BPD, or many other health disorders. Let me see what this personal. No, I'm not going to go because I did that the other day. I'm not going to go through that because I get dug off into this. There are many types of self-hatred. While some people constantly blame themselves for their perceived past mistakes, some others feel uncomfortable with their own identity, their race, their nationality, their gender, etc. And really, had you ever been, this is just coming to my mind, to the point where, like, when we were brought up, there was a sense in the air that Caucasian people were superior to us, and that sometimes we were not. I'm going to a child's mind. Maybe we're not good enough in the world, not good enough to the world because of our skin. And and back then, that superiority thing with the other race was even worse than it is now. And so there were times when we thought if we were around Caucasian people, or even anyone that was lighter than us, that we were not as important as they are. Have you ever had
What?
that feeling?
No, I never
Well,
feel that. Well,
good,
my mother
good.
made sure, our mama made sure we didn't feel
Well,
that.
she made sure we didn't, but if you were around other people,
Other people, okay, yes,
right,
yes, yes,
exactly,
but not,
exactly.
no,
Because
no, no.
we were supposed to be second class citizens or third class or fourth class citizens. Okay. And so anyway, when you're around other people, now hey, nobody would make a difference with us with our mom and daddy now.
No,
Hey,
no.
no, no, no.
They would tell us you just as good as anybody else
That's
and
right.
better. Daddy was said in a heartbeat, you good
That's
as
right.
anybody else and better.
That's right. But no,
Don't
a
never
lot
let
of
nobody
people
treat you like this
didn't
and that.
get that. A
Yep,
lot of people didn't get that.
that's true.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
And I thank God for our parents. But
Oh
anyway,
y'all, amen.
huh?
I'm giving my daddy mama hand.
Oh, yes. So their race, their nationality, their gender, some people are ashamed of that, or some people don't think they're good enough, or it's not good enough for the world. But everybody is important. If you were not, I don't believe God would have let you be born. Okay. So the self hatred test below is more generic and may not be suitable for everyone. Okay. It may not be suitable for everyone. This is the disclaimer. Okay. So
Okay.
if you suspect you have a self hatred problem, please contact a mental health professional right away. It's not going to hurt you. I
Right
pray
now.
that it doesn't. If you get to the right mental health person, and I'm not saying everybody out there, even though they might be licensed or they might be a professional, I'm not saying that all of them will be good for you
Mm-hmm.
or me or anybody, but just, that's why we have to ask for direction from God and ask Him to send us to the right people, because everybody is not good for you. There's some harmful people out there. Some people will take advantage of your situation and your mind, and they could have you catering to them. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to really, really be careful. There's so much out here in this world that we really have to be careful about. So the self hatred test below, it's more generic and it might not cater to you all the way. Okay. So how often do you feel that these are the questions? What makes you the way you are? So you can take the test and discover your personality type. And I remember when I discovered what personality type I am. Then I understood why I the way I am in every area. And since I found out which personality type I am, I said, thank you, Lord. Now I know, so I will never ever question why I act like this or why this or whatever. I accept me for who I am. Not that
Yep.
I rejected me, but now that I know why I am like I am, hey, I can deal with it. No more questions within myself. So, so now here we go. How often do you feel like you wasted lots of time? And they have these questions: often, rarely, or never. Then the next one is how often do you feel like you've made lots of mistakes? How often do you feel that nobody loves you? How often do you feel that you are an outcast or you are a victim of circumstances or you can't get ahead in life because of what your parents have done to you? How often do you feel that you are pathetic or that you are rejected by someone or you are guilty? You don't contribute to society. Nobody respects you. You are hopeless. You have no self-confidence. You are a loser. You missed many opportunities. You are defeated by life. Your mental suffering is intense. How often do you feel like this? Other people don't understand you. No one wants to be around you. You are damaged. How often do you feel like that?
Well,
So it's difficult to make a perfect self hatred test because it's such a serious problem. This is serious business. So if you scored more than 5, or if you feel that your mental suffering is intense most of the time, it is highly likely that you have serious emotional issues that warrant a visit to a psychologist or a therapist. The highest possible score is 40. The higher the score, the bigger the problem. Oh my goodness. So now this one, if you score high, that means, hey, you got a problem, okay?
you got a problem.
All right, got a problem. And take the test. It won't hurt us to take the test. People with self-hatred problem, with the self-hatred problem, spend a lot of time alone, constantly blaming themselves for things they have done or haven't done. It's like a hateful person follows them around 24 hours a day, except that they can't escape from their self-defeating thoughts because they're the ones that's following each other around. Self is following you around. So the average IQ, okay, talking about the IQ now. So they may or may not be angry at others for not understanding their needs or ignoring them, but they are always angry at themselves. These are self hatred people. Thoughts of past failures and missed opportunities seem particularly painful. They are haunted by the stark contrast between their own lonely and supposedly unproductive life and other people's success. It is important to mention that their self blame is not necessarily deserved. It could be a result of negative events beyond their control, such as victimization, being abused as children, or other types of trauma. Self hatred can be acutely painful, acutely painful that it is sometimes considered a form of abuse. Can you imagine abusing yourself? Well, people abuse themselves, they do. Self hatred. Self haters feel terribly confused and constantly doubt themselves. Each day seems like another day lost, feeling paralyzed. They have no idea what they could do differently to change the way they feel about themselves. My goodness, that's a bad place to be in. Typically, they withdraw from society and become self absorbed. They spend a lot of time doing nothing, often in bed. Because they are afraid of another failure, they don't attempt to do anything anymore, denying themselves even a chance to prove themselves to themselves they are capable individuals. Not only are they convinced that they are worthless and incapable, they also believe that others judge them as harshly as they judge themselves. That's terrible. Their obsession with negative thoughts and depression may become overwhelming and may lead to suicidal thoughts. If you experience, and they keep saying this over and over, if you experience any of these symptoms, please call your local suicide prevention hotline
So
and
get
make
the
an
idea
appointment with a mental health professional right away.
right now.
Right away. Okay, so that's I'm going to leave that there. And if you can't find the number, if you don't see the number, call 911. 911, and we pray to God that you get somebody who's compassionate out there so
Yeah.
you won't end up dead trying to get some help. All right.
Or somebody's example, or somebody's test. You know, people they run they do. Never mind. Go ahead.
What you
Woo.
talking about? Take them in laboratories and
Yes, and run all of you
tests and
become the
stuff like
guinea
that.
pig. A
Yeah.
lot of people become guinea pig.
Yeah, yeah. Don't want to be a guinea pig. So we're praying
No.
for you right now. We're
Uh,
praying for you
uh,
right now that God will get you the right help you need to the right person, and that anybody that comes out to see about you is compassionate and well trained, and will get you the help that you need to get.
Amen.
Okay, because we've seen so many terrible cases of when people have called to get help for their mentally disturbed people, and then
Uh-huh.
people go out there and kill them
Yep. Yep.
and kill them. So
Yep.
we're praying for you. We're praying for you. Okay. Now we're talking about my next one is survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt. And I think probably everybody's probably felt like this
Yeah.
sometime. So what is the survivor's remorse? I say remorse, okay? Survivor's remorse. Uh, it's or survivor's guilt,
Mhm.
also called survivor syndrome. This little thing keeps popping up here. Let me go here. Let me see. Okay, let me get over to this one. this thing, and when some of these things come up and then you click for them to go off and they get bigger.
And they get bigger. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. This is from Expand Us Ceramics Questions. What does survivor's remorse mean? And the contents in here are: what are the symptoms? Why do survivors feel guilty? What do you say to someone who has survivor's guilt? What is survivor syndrome in the workplace? Is survivor guilt a mental illness? What does PTSD do to the brain? Survivor guilt or survivor's guilt, also called survivor syndrome or survivor's syndrome, and survivor disorder or survivor's disorder, is a mental condition that occurs when a person
Mm-hmm.
believes they have done something wrong by surviving a traumatic event when others did not, often feeling self guilt. And sometimes, you wonder, could I have done more? And I feel like that now, even though I know that God
I
was in control and it was His will, but I still think sometimes, could I have done more for Elder Davis?
yeah.
Uh, what if I had done this? Or what if I had done? And he was in the hospital getting the best care.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
getting, well, that day when I had them to come and get him, the emergency, come and get him, and they told me the situation and everything. But I still think sometimes, what if I had said this, or what if I had said
Uh-huh.
this,
Done
or
this, done that.
done this? But they were doing all that they could. But I still think about that sometimes. I still think about it, not to the point where it's harmful to me, but I still think about it when I know that he was in the right hands. The professionals had him, and he was in God's hand, and God had allotted him the time that he had for him on this earth. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but I still think about that sometimes. I
I think
really do.
about it too. I think a lot about that.
And see, and I know you shouldn't, because
And
you
Daddy
did.
said, "Mama, do you really feel like that?" And yes, I do. I do.
Hmm.
I feel like that. She said, "Mama, you done everything you could have
Yep,
done." He
you
said, "But
did. But you,
God was in the control. That's it."
yeah, yeah, but you still feel like something. It still pops in your mind
Yes, it does.
sometimes.
Yes, it does.
It's still
What if
just
I
like,
had? Or what if I
just
hadn't?
like daddy, when
Yes.
mama called me, Shirley, come here, and I did the CPR, and I did
Yes.
that, and I had daddy started breathing again, and then when the paramedics got there, they said, I got this, we got this, and he didn't. They got there, and I let them have it. And he didn't breathe anymore.
Uh
And
huh.
I just feel like, what if I had
What if I
said,
had kept breathing?
yeah, what if I told him, oh Lord,
Oh,
okay,
just get back. I got this. Yep.
right,
Oh
because
yeah.
I popped him, did my nurse's training, and daddy started breathing again. And then we're here, we got it. And then that was it. That
Yep.
was it.
Oh, I know
Okay.
what you
Oh,
feel,
Lord
sister.
God. This is
Yo,
serious. Oh, my Lord. So, what
man.
are the symptoms of survivor's guilt? Symptoms of survivor guilt typically include nightmares, difficulty sleeping, flashbacks to traumatic events, loss of motivation, irritability, a sense of numbness, and thoughts about the meaning of life. Now, I don't have mine are not severe like that.
Not either.
So, why do survivors feel guilty? Survivor's guilt is when a person has feelings of guilt because they survived a life threatening situation when others did not. It is
Mm-hmm.
a common reaction to traumatic events and a symptom of post traumatic stress disorder. So, if we
Yes.
get to that point and we know we have some our loved ones in our family who have that, and that stuff is not a joke.
No, it is not.
That
We've been
stuff,
there. You know, we've been there and done
oh
that.
yes,
We've
oh
been there and
yes,
done that more than once.
oh yes,
It's
yes,
not
yes,
a joke.
yes.
Lord, that's some serious. If y'all
Oh
know
my
somebody that
God.
got that, please, please, in the
Yes,
name of Jesus, get
yes.
some
Get
help.
some help.
Get them
Yes,
some help.
it's not gonna belittle you to get some help.
Oh, you don't get out of my head because I was just saying, I was going to say, oh, that's my next word.
Get some help. So, what do you
Yes.
say to someone who is on survivor's guilt? Guilt, the basics are guilt about surviving, guilt over what you did. Ask who is truly responsible. This is what do you say? Remind yourself you can handle sadness and loss. Think about how people who love you feel about your survival. It's not a zero-sum game. Do something meaningful for someone else. This goes without saying, but take care of yourself. And that's the number one thing. Take care of yourself. And some people, well, she's being selfish because she's thinking about herself first. If you don't think about yourself first, how are you going to see about somebody else?
Somebody else.
Now, I know
Amen.
what people
Yes.
mean about some people are super selfish.
Uh-huh.
Super
Yep.
selfish. Yes, they are.
Yes.
What was that I
Yes.
watched the other day? What was that movie? It was
Super selfish.
it was a movie, and the dad in that movie, oh, he was so selfish. But anyway, I can't think of them. Did I write it down? Let me see. Because I was going to
Who
talk
was
about
in it?
some
Who was in it?
um the guy that used to play Judging Amy. He's on the Rookie now. He's the captain
I
on the
don't know what
Rookie. Oh, I
I
like him so much. He was bald headed when the bald head was not even in popular. Judging Amy. He was on Judging Amy. I think he was bald. Um,
is he the guy that played in Tyler Perry's movies? The same guy that played in Tyler Perry
oh
movies?
no,
Okay,
not him.
not the
Uh-uh.
Why I Got Married guy.
Mm-hmm. Uh-uh. Oh,
Okay.
but here's something right here that kind of coincides a little bit about what I'm talking about. Um, Gene of the Joneses. Have you seen that? Gene, Jean of the Joneses. That's a good movie.
Mm,
Now I know I'm getting off
never
on this,
heard
but
of
this has something to do with this. It's either on Prime or I think it might be on Prime or Hulu, one of those. And
it. If
then
it ain't
there's
no
another
Judy,
one called Her Name Was Joe. And then here's another one called Steps. And last night I watched, or yesterday I watched this movie. I'm getting off on this because this has some things
I
to,
understand. Uh-huh.
uh-huh. And then yesterday I watched Redemption for Easter. That was on, I think that's Hulu, Redemption for Easter. That Watch that one. Okay, now for my movie thing is over. What is survivor syndrome in the workplace? What survivors are feeling is called workplace survivor syndrome, a term coined by organizational psychologists to describe the emotional, psychological, and physical effects of employees who remain in the midst of company downsizing. Compounding the problem is a scarcity of support for downsizing survivors. And another thing, now I've never felt that because usually at Johnson Johnson, I was in the cut in the what is it? The thing when they have layoffs and then they call us back later on. And so
Mhm.
sometimes I'd be glad. Anyway,
Get that
it's
mini vacay, baby.
is survivor's guilt a mental illness? Survivor guilt or survivor's guilt is a mental condition that occurs when a person believes they have done something wrong by surviving a traumatic event when others did not, often feeling self guilt. Now, what does PTSD do to the brain? PTSD causes your brain to get stuck in
Yes, indeed.
danger mode, to get
Yes,
stuck
indeed.
in danger mode. Even after no longer in danger, it stays on high alert. And we've witnessed that. We've witnessed that.
We have
I
witnessed.
mean, through our loved one, yes.
Yes, we
Your
have.
body continues to send out stress signals, which lead to PTSD symptoms. The
Uh-huh.
studies show that the part of the brain that handles fear and emotion, the amygdala, is more active in people with PTSD, the amygdala. Okay. Now, oh, shoot. That's all of that. By golly gee.
Ah, pooey. Hey,
I had much
pooey.
more than that, but then my time is almost up anyway. So, Reedy, I'm going to turn it over to you. And if anything else,
I
I
need a
know
drink.
I
I
had,
need, I need a drink.
huh?
My throat is
Oh,
dry.
here it is. Understanding and dealing with the survivor's guilt. And this is June 9th, 2021. So this is recent. And this one is from this is the one, mental health center dot O-R-G, and it's talking about understanding and dealing with survivor's guilt. What is survivor's guilt? Common symptoms of survivor's guilt, coping with survivor's guilt, seeking treatment for survivor's guilt. Okay, so that's what that is. So I was at, let me give you these sites. Did I give all the sites, really?
I don't know how many sites you did, baby. I
Okay,
wasn't
let's
listening.
see. Expand us ceramics, expand us ceramics dot com question. Oh, expand us ceramics dot no, expand us ceramics questions.com. Okay. And then that test, we know that was psychologic.com. And that's it. All right. It's in your hand. Let me read it. There you
What?
go.
What?
I'm
Am I right about you? Yeah.
okay. You
I
now
am.
you take the send off. Take it. You take it. I'm handing it to you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you. I don't know
Oh,
what to
don't you
send
just
out.
love it? We can just do it like we want to do it. Hi, everybody. I'm going to Facebook to
Hello,
see who's on here.
Glenda McGilvery.
Hi, Glenda. Hi,
McGilvery.
Glenda.
Glenda, I'm getting some. I'm gonna bring this out here. I'm getting some stuff on Messenger talking about did you get your money from Glenda McGilvery? I told him, I said, y'all know you are not Glenda McGilvery because she would not do nothing like that. Did you
Mm-mm.
get your money from Facebook and all that kind of stuff? Glenda,
Oh
I
my
bet they're
goodness.
using your name, baby. They're using your name.
Mm-hmm.
If it's you, let me know so I can stop cussing you. I'm
What?
just kidding. But anyway, mine today is my topic today is the differences between pride and dignity. And there are they now this is wonderful by John Amadeo, PhD in psychology today. My go-to, you know that if it's anything you want to know, psychology today has done some kind of research about it. So it's on US Psychology Today. Okay, where was I at? What it means to truly honor ourselves.
Okay.
Mental and emotional health require that we feel good about ourselves. But when self affirmation morphs into a rigid sense of pride, we may damage our dignity and become distant from each other. We may have different takes on the word pride.
Mm-hmm.
A healthy pride might arise from seeing our children doing well and making contributions to the world, but pride can also be a slippery slope toward arrogance,
Okay.
which is why Christianity viewed it as one of the seven deadly sins.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Pride, you remember?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know you remember. I need to
Well,
run if I remember. Coaches may drive players to win at all costs, including cheating, in order to bask in the pride and glory of winning. Political leaders often have often mobilized national or ethnic pride to invade other countries. Much of the misery in the world stems from pride run amok. Brimming with pride around our religious or political ideology, we justify atrocities in the name of God, truth, and justice. Excuse me. A character in a novel by 18th century writer Samuel Johnson it says it well. Pride is seldom delicate. It will please itself with very mean advantages, since a delicate pride can so easily solidify into destructive pride that distances us between ourselves and others.
mm-hmm.
We might want to differentiate such pride from a dignity that truly honors ourselves and others.
Mm-hmm.
Pride feeds our self image, dignity nourishes us. A
Okay.
common connotation connotation of pride is clinging to a haughty, boastful self view. We
Mhm.
may take pride in the status of our bank account, our academic degrees, or how fit we are. Our sense of identity becomes defined by what we do rather than who we are.
Mhm.
Our perceived accomplishments are status feed, and prideful self-image, but we don't really nourish us. That don't really nourish us.
Mhm.
Interestingly, though, I said that good. Interestingly, though, although we may we may pride ourselves on how much money we make, studies suggest that income above a certain amount doesn't translate into greater happiness. A
Mhm.
Princeton study revealed that making more than roughly $75,000 a year, depending on where you are, what state you're in,
Mhm.
won't significantly improve your emotional well-being. Help me out a little bit. 75,000. Help me out a little bit. It might not do a whole lot, but it help me out. I can get my chest right there, and not there. That's where I want it. Dignity is an expression of who we are. It's not about our social status, financial assets, or worldly achievements. Whether we experience successes or failures, we maintain self compassion. That's
Mhm.
it. Our dignity
Mhm.
derives from doing our best to live as an ethical human being.
Right.
We live with nourishing sense of gentle dignity as we become honest with ourselves, kind
Mhm.
toward others, and respectful of life in all its forms.
Mhm.
Pride pumps up our superiority. Dignity contains humility and gratitude. Those are the difference. Come on, y'all understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Pride is colored by a self view of being better than others. We might judge people who are unemployed as being unambitious or lazy. I've
Mhm.
heard so many say that,
Yep.
and they saying it today because
Mhm.
of the jobs, and it's all over the news. They don't they're cutting off the income, employment, unemployment because people don't want to work no more. They just got lazy. No, that's not it. There's no jobs out there. They lost their jobs. A lot of places is closed down and not back up. It's not laziness. It's not woosah.
Not everybody anyway.
Not everybody. Yeah, but it's some out there that did milk the system a little bit. They just got a little more milk than others. But that's
And may
all
I
right.
say this?
Yeah.
Because some people got more off of unemployment than they made going to work
Going to
five,
work.
six, and
Yes.
$7, 7 days a week.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they got that extra $600 a week. Those
Yeah,
people were making $800 a week.
and
So you
some
know
of them don't.
when when down here unemployment is on the most you can get out of unemployment is 247. Okay, then Trump come along and gave him an extra $600 a week. Do you remember that? That's
Okay.
$847 a week.
Mm-hmm.
No, they didn't want to go back to work.
No,
They
because they didn't make
didn't
that
make that a
working.
month. They
Right.
didn't make that a month.
And you know what?
So
I don't fault them for it either.
I don't either.
Mm-mm.
I don't
I
either.
don't fault
Nope.
them for it.
Nope. But
Because
then, and here's a lot of them. They wasn't even paying their bills. A lot of them wasn't paying their bills
even
because
though they
what was it? Huh?
even though they had more money.
Even though they had more money, remember a lot of them weren't paying their bills because they had the eviction thing. Okay, so they can't put you out because you can't pay your rent, but still they giving you all this money a week. So why, when it come time to pay your rent, you don't have the money?
Wow.
And then they put out this eviction memorandum that you whatever it was, a memorandum momentum, whatever it was, like that. Whatever it was, they were
Mhm.
worried about getting put out their homes for non-payment of rent, but they were collecting
Money when they could have
unemployment.
been paying, at least paying
When
on
they
it.
should have been paying on it, yes. And their light bills and their Kentwood didn't care about that water bill. You might not could have went in there and paid it, and the post office wasn't open for you to buy buy money order, but they put you some envelopes and a post office box out there and some paper and told you to write your name on there and we'll text you your receipt.
Really?
Yeah,
Where was that at?
It was here in Kentwood. Kentwood. You know, a lot of places say if you can't pay, don't worry about it. We're not charging nobody right now. We'll catch you on the back end.
Uh-huh.
Town of Kenwood say we're gonna put a post office box out there, and they put it out there. We're gonna leave you some envelopes and some water so you don't even have to lick the envelope. You just put that water and stick back up, and you got to use cash. You got to use cash because you couldn't get no money on it. And then we'll text you your receipt.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they did. They went
I,
and you didn't go in there and pay it. They come into your house and they gonna either collect your money or collect that money and or turn your water off.
but you know what? I would rather have them come to the house and collect the money than to put cash in
And
there trusting those
yeah,
people.
but well, see, I put cash in mine, and now and every time, every day, every time I do, I put that cash in there, and I would text Donisha because Donisha worked there, and I tell,
Uh-huh.
and she'd always make sure I got my receipts.
And you know what? I would take a video. I would have taken a video of me putting it in the thing too. Well, anyway,
Because there's no, I understand what you're saying because there was no proof that you paid it. You can cut
right.
a little part off and you leave this with us and you take the other, but there's no proof. There was no proof.
Wow. Wow.
And that's how they did it. Yes, it is. That's how they did it. During the pandemic, at the very start, they had their game plan ready, baby. They wouldn't let nobody go one day on the 15th of your water bill due on the 15th, on the 16th. We'll see you. We either come into your house or you gonna come up here and put in that mailbox. One of the two. Hey.
Well, hey.
You gotta say, ooh, they'll never get me. Because Donisha, she worked there, so she always texts my receipt because she know if I didn't get it by the end of the day, I'm texting in the morning or calling in the morning. So she always did it. Okay, pride pumps up our superiority. Dignity contains humility, and gratitude. Pride is colored by self-view of being better than others. We might judge people who are unemployed as being ambitious and lazy. If we entered a disorderly home, we might deem its occupants to be messy. The judgments might furnish us with an air of superiority.
Mm-hmm.
We don't allow others we don't allow others their dignity. We fail to respect them as human beings who are probably doing their best.
Mm-hmm.
Plateau over offers a wise suggestion. Be kind, be friendly. For everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Amen.
Oh, that's right.
Dignity doesn't require comparing ourselves to others. There you go. If we have a rewarding job, we feel grateful, not
Mm-hmm.
superior. If we stay fit, we enjoy the physical well being it offers without thinking we're better than those who can't find the time, money, or motivation to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Dignity is an internal self of respecting ourselves to
Mm-hmm.
the extent that we don't judge or criticize ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
don't feel compelled to disrespect or shame others.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. True dignity allows for generosity toward others. Pride is a commodity that we hoard for ourselves. Dignity
Mm-hmm.
contains a humility, and gratitude invites people toward us. We
Mm-hmm.
recognize that we're all in this together. Pride depends on what happens outside ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Dignity is internal. Pride is precarious, yes, and easily punctured. We feel
Mm-hmm.
devastated when someone insults us or leaves us. We want to retaliate, like a mob figure who orders a hit, like a mob figure who orders a hit on someone who was disrespectful. Disrespect is unbearable when our self worth is so fragile that we demand that everyone admire us. If we're rejected, we might feel sad or hurt. Living with dignity means honoring and embracing our vulnerable feelings.
Mm-hmm.
When pride rules, we think something is wrong with us for hurting. We judge ourselves as weak. Peeling, piling shame atop peeling, piling shame atop our hurt magnifies our suffering. The shame. that derives from injured pride often comprises of the bulk of our devastation when someone hurts us. Believing that
Mhm.
we're not respected activates feelings of not being worthy. The more we live with dignity, the less we question our values as a person. If someone breaks up with us, it's painful, but our grieving isn't complicated by bouts of self doubt and self degeneration.
Mhm.
Yes? Yes.
Mhm.
Pride gives away our power. We try to control how we're being seen. Dignity is not concerned about how others perceive us. It rests securely on how we're viewing our holding ourselves.
Mhm.
Dignity recognizes that being vulnerable doesn't mean something wrong with us. We
Okay.
can courageously explore how we might be contributed to difficulties in a relationship, but we do so with dignity and self-respect.
Mhm.
Pride may prevent us from looking at our role in an interpersonal conflict. Pride is allergic to taking responsibility for our actions. Instead, we get fixated on blaming and accusing or attacking.
Mhm.
It is, huh?
I was
It
just
is
saying,
not, oh, it is not undignified to make mistakes. What is undignified is to not learn and grow from them.
right.
Pride keeps us stuck, spinning our
Mhm.
own wheels in the quicksand of narcissism. I'm gonna do one on
Mhm.
narcissism. For narcissism is a bad puppy. Um, Boy, people, it's a lot of narcissism rolling around. Ooh,
Mhm.
we can't
Mhm.
expect ourselves to always maintain our dignity. It is prone to be eclipsed by our fears and shame. We can practice returning to affirm our dignity when we're succumbing to foolish pride or losing our way.
Mhm.
Differentiating pride from dignity can help us embrace what sustains us. Moving our misguided pride to life affirming dignity invites us to continually bring grateful gentleness toward ourselves, accepting and loving ourselves as we are rather than attaching
Mhm.
to how we think we should be.
Mhm.
Hello, there we go. Well, that's the difference between pride and dignity. And
Okay.
y'all, yes it is. And
Mhm.
which would you rather be, prideful or dignified? You,
Well, it depends on the circumstances. Okay, in what circumstances? Because certain different circumstances cause you to use different.
good approaches. Yes,
Uh
yes,
huh.
yes. Because I
And
had
so
somebody
now,
tell me I was too proudful. You got too much pride.
uh huh. And you remember what I said one time? Somebody told me, said, Shirley, I thought you was stuck up, but you ain't stuck up, is you? I said, I don't think so.
Yes, somebody told me I had too much pride. So you
I
just like your
believe it.
father. Show me. I was just like my father. I got too much pride. I
How
said,
did
well,
know?
if I'm just like my father, I sure thank you
How did
if
know?
you gave
Were
me
they
a
that
father.
close that they knew
Yes,
daddy?
yes, yes, yes. Because daddy wouldn't take nothing from nobody. You couldn't
Mm-mm.
get daddy nothing. He
And
wouldn't take
see,
nothing
and
from
you couldn't.
nobody.
And see, the thing about being proud is he was assured of himself,
Yes, he would.
and so he didn't stoop for
Booyah.
anybody else, try to
Yes,
stoop down to anybody else's
yes,
level. And so,
yes,
getting back to what you said in the beginning, they taught us that we don't do that either,
yes,
and
exactly.
that you know who you are. We're
Yes,
teaching you
exactly. Uh-huh.
who you are. You're dignified and you're proud,
Uh-huh.
not to self where it would be a negative pride, but you have to have a
Mm-hmm.
certain amount of pride in order to sustain and make it in this world. You have to have that dignity, and the
Dignity. Yes,
dignity. And
ma'am.
I talk to my children and tell them certain things. When certain things happen, if God sees fit to see certain things come to pass in
Mhm.
my life, then you remember my dignity. I've worked all these years to keep my
Yes, ma'am.
dignity. So
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
just turn me over to somebody, anybody. These are the
Yeah.
steps I want you to take to make sure that my dignity is maintained as
Baby,
long as I'm here.
yes, yes.
I told them, oh yes, how I want it done.
Uh-huh. But
How I want it. And so anyway, hi, ooh, I want to
Daddy
say hi to
told me.
Yvonne,
Daddy told me.
Glenda.
Uh-huh. Daddy told Nancy Hogan, Brian. Hey,
Hi
Nancy.
Nancy.
Shirley Pope. Oh, Shirley's up there too. Hi, Shirley. Because I was jumping dead. Shirley
Now what you
Pope.
said?
Hey. But you know, when I first married Philip and I was going to Alexandria for the first time, Daddy said that. He said, now, when you go down there, show them who you are, show them how you act. He said, don't take nothing from nobody. Don't give nothing to them. He said, you know how to act. You know how you was raised. You educated. He said, if you need anything, you give us a call, but you know where you come
Mm-hmm.
from. He did. He told me, he said, you know where you
Mm-hmm.
come from. You know how to
Mm-hmm.
act. And you don't take nothing from nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that. And I
Mm-mm.
just cried yesterday. I just cried. I ain't want to leave then. I was like, what they gonna do to me, Daddy?
Because Daddy was he had
A
few
man of
words,
few words.
but
Yes.
whatever he
Yes.
said, they were fully seasoned with wisdom
Yes.
and
Yeah.
grace. If he
Yes.
said it, baby,
Uh-huh.
let me tell you.
That will be done. Yes, it is. That is. Because he
Mm-hmm.
said he sat me down.
Wow.
He sat me down and he told me all that. And I was like, yes, it did. And I started thinking what they gonna do to me. Because and he was rolling out the wisdom. He like that. You know where you come from. You know how to act. Don't let them give you nothing. Don't take nothing. I was like, yes, sir,
Mm-hmm.
Daddy. He said, you're educated. You showed him you educated. I was like, yes, sir, Daddy. He said, y'all good to you. And he told us we were good children. I was like, God dang it, Daddy, don't do it. Because I was feeling like the lost.
Like Philip, what you said?
He like the
You.
lost. I like not left my daddy.
So you like to not went down there, huh?
I like the not the win.
And you know
Because
when
like
Daddy
you
would
say,
say
he's a
something, it
man
would
of
make
few
us so
words.
proud.
Huh?
It would make us so proud when Daddy did, say something because he
Acknowledge
didn't.
the things we
He
had
always,
done. Yes.
huh?
Acknowledge the things we had done because Daddy was like, if I didn't do it, since I didn't do it, make sure my children did. See what I'm saying? I'm not
But
as
was,
educated as I'd like to be, but I'm make sure my kids get all their education.
but it wasn't much that nobody had anything on Daddy. Anybody
No,
build a
Daddy had
car,
a steam engine at 4 years old and it worked. A steam engine, four
and
years
then
old and it worked.
he could take a car
We know.
totaled, a
Yes,
total loss,
yes, he
and
did.
rebuild that car where it would be 100% safe.
Like it come off the showroom floor. It oh yes, yes.
I'm telling you, so we're so thankful. There was something
And he
else that I
had
was.
pride in his work because if the person would come in and say, "Oh, Mr. Puffy looks so good," and he see one thing, well, now I ain't see this right here, but you can come back and get mine. Let me do. He would go over it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they ain't seen it, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
did. He would have
And you know
pride
what?
in his work.
I'm like that today. But you know what? I
I
started
am
telling
too,
myself,
girl.
well, if I stop and redo everything I think is wrong, I never would get it.
He
Never
was,
would get
and then we wonder where we get being a
it.
perfectionist because he was a perfectionist. He
And,
was.
and I told you once, that's what one of my college professors told me. She said, "You're a perfectionist, huh?
Uh
Aren't
huh.
you?"
Yep.
I can't help it. Can't
Can't
help it.
can't
Might
help
not
it.
get everything perfect, You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? But we
Uh-huh.
work on it. We work on
But
it. And
we
I think everybody should be like that.
it'll be darn close to perfect.
Hi, Ella Roland. Ella Roland had a birthday yesterday. And for
Happy birthday.
his Facebook page didn't bring it up.
What? Well, happy
Uh-huh.
birthday. If I had my
Didn't bring
sunglasses, I would sing it to you. Happy birthday to you. Bang, I'm sunglasses, but I would show pick it out for you, Elder Roll. I would pick it out for you. If I had my Stevie Wonder sunglasses, I'll be ready.
and I want to remind everyone about
Yes,
my
radio.
radio station.
Uh-huh.
And you can find it. Let me go back and see because I thought I had it up here. I might have taken it off of here, but you can go to let me see. I can give you the but anyway, I have the link on
Yeah,
my
it,
Facebook
S,
page.
S, S Poke Radio, I believe is what it said. S
It's
Poke
S Folk
Radio.
Radio, but it's cupcake dot citrus three.
Cupcake? Oh,
Uh-huh,
darn cupcake,
cupcake.
baby.
That's the
Darn
website.
cupcake,
It's
baby.
got cupcake. It gave me that. I guess I don't know what
Speaking
they
of
do.
cupcakes, you know what cupcakes are? Come on, cupcake. Hey!
Cupcake.citrus3.com. And then I guess you can go there and probably look, but it's on Facebook. My link
All
is
right.
on Facebook. And it's going now. It's going now while we're on here. It is live.
It's
It
live
is
24/7.
live. Oh,
24/7?
yeah, not 24/7 yet, but I signed off last night at 2 minutes after 10.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm doing is I'm learning more and more about setting it up and
Yes.
everything. And so I'm going in there, I'm learning some more things about it. So, but what I want to say, and this is an invitation. It's a shame that some people, and I'm not saying you that are watching us, but there's a mentality among our people as to if I didn't do it first, then I'm not going to support you because you did it.
Yeah.
Or I know just as much as you, or I know more than you, so you can't help me, or I
Would
don't
that
want to
be
be a part of this.
arrogance? Would that be arrogance?
And it could just be jealousy and envy too.
Yes. Uh-huh. But you know, it's a
Uh-huh.
lot of people that see. That's why I said I got to find arrogance. I got
Hmm.
to look that. I got to do it. I'm ready for it
And
because
some
arrogance
people,
is something.
because you can tell them something, they don't want to accept it.
Boy, you
I
made
will
me want
never.
to tell you something. PJ,
Happy.
he the only one can do that stuff to me. Only one can do it. We're doing a
Happy.
show.
I love you.
Hey, Shirley,
Hey.
love you too.
Hello. I'm doing
Hey,
good. How about you?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Well, I'm just thinking, see his nose, I could just pow.
I was thinking about something. Go, and what I was going to say is that those of you, if you're a poet, if you are a singer, you have your music out here, and your music is not on. We're mainstream too, so maybe I should
Right,
not say
right,
if you're not on mainstream because we're mainstream. We're streaming main, okay?
right.
If you're a musician, you have your own compositions, you have your own songs, you have your own poetry. Even if you write books, you
Even
could
if you
read a
have a
part of your
face
book
for
to
radio,
us. A what?
if you just have a face
If you
for
have a
radio,
what?
a face for radio.
A face? Whatever. I want to, get people to hear your works.
Shirley,
This
Shirley said
radio
that went
station,
over her head.
this radio station it has us in mind. What you hear on here is original. I
Yeah.
haven't put a third of the Polk Sisters and Company, Inspiration of God Singers, or Evangelist Shirley Polk, or Miss Shirley Polk on here because I'm
But
still
Shirley,
working with it because
I'm sorry, but you have a lot of music of your own out there.
that's what I'm saying. And remember, I told you the other day I have to put it in a different format.
Yeah, yes,
And
because a
so
lot of music that we did, you wrote.
everything, the Inspiration of God, yeah, almost everything, but every
That's right.
recording that we
That's
did,
right.
every recording, every group that we recorded with the Polk Sisters Company, Inspiration of God Singers, All of those songs are my own compositions.
And I
And
never knew till just what this month that you wrote Center Man.
Sinner
Never
Man,
knew.
yes. And Sinner Man is
Never
on
knew.
the radio station. Natalie is singing Sinner Man.
Oh
And
my God.
there's a little, I had to take it off the phonograph and I had to do it off of one of our demo LPs. And that
Uh-huh.
demo LP has a scratch on it. And so you might hear it skip, but I
Uh,
still have it on the radio station. Now I have the
Elroy, go
original
listen to Center Man. I'm telling you, go listen to Elroy and go
Sinner
listen to
Man,
Center Man.
yes.
Because that's my
Sinner
sister
Man. And
Shirley
then
wrote that, and I'm so proud.
And so anyway, I think I have now like 4 or 5 songs. And then I have a discussion with Lan and me, my daughter Gail and me. We're
Uh-huh.
talking about Elisha and the Shunammite woman. And
I heard
also
that.
to those who have ministries, who have things that you would like to talk about, just send them to me. You get them to me. My email address, I'm pointing to the phone now, is right here on the phone. It's scrolling. And
Yes,
see
it is.
that phone number right there? You can call me on that phone number and
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about it. And it's not hard. It's not going to cost an arm and a leg to get on the radio, on S-Poke Radio. Just call me. And that phone number is a Google number. And I saw on the news, I want to give you this tip just in case you didn't see it. I use my Google number because I don't want to put my phone number out there public, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And so on the news today, they just said, I think it was on Good Morning America, they were talking about instead of putting your phone number out there, your private phone numbers,
Uh-huh.
get you a Google Voice number. Get a Google Voice number for safety.
You see how she opened the door?
Okay. All right, everybody. We
She
love
opened
you.
the door, come right on like she like she human. Pickles.
Oh,
They
Pickles.
had the
Hi,
door closed
Pickles.
and she they had door closed and she opened it.
I believe it. I believe it. Hi, Pickles. Meow.
Yeah,
Everybody, thank
look
you
how
so much.
she looking. Look how she looking. I didn't say it, Shirley did. She looking for you
Meow.
too.
Pickles. Meow.
Come come on, come on,
Let
come
me
on.
see Pickles. Hi, Pickles. Pickles. Meow. Meow,
She's so pretty
Pickles.
though. She's so pretty.
She is.
She's
Look
so
how,
pretty.
oh, she's
Yeah.
filling out for the winter now,
Uh-huh.
huh? Okay,
Yes.
everybody, we
Go
love
on to the
you.
doctor
We
next
love
week.
you.
I love you, sister.
Oh,
Thank you,
Ella
everybody.
Rolla said, thank you both. And thank
Thank
you, everybody, for being
thank
with
you,
us.
Elderola,
We
for
love
watching.
you.
Linda, Shirley. Oh, you
And
watch.
Eula I will have Eula, we're going to do her segment later on today. And Sunday, God willing, Sunday, see everybody or everybody see me at 7 a.m. on Sunday. And don't forget the Sunday school lesson, God willing, will be up later on my podcast also.
Okay.
So we're going on in the name of the Lord.
You
All
are.
right, love you.
I am just so. I just want to say this one more time. I am just. I got time to say. I got a whole minute to say how proud I am of my sister. Shirley,
Oh,
you
Rita,
just don't
thank
know
you.
how proud I am of you. I talk about you all the time. Every day. Listen to Gail talking about ask me.
Hi, Gail. Where's Gail? Let me see you, Gail.
Where am
Hi,
I at?
Gail.
Right here. Hey.
Hello.
She talking
Hi.
about ask
Good.
me. Yes, indeed. I talk about my sister all the time.
It's good. And I talk about mine too, Gail. I love y'all. Take
I
care.
love you. Bye
Okay. Talk with you
bye.
later. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. See you, everybody. Love you. Thank you for being with us.